3 quarters. Final quarter of the regular season for the Fever, who have clinched their first winning regular season since 2015. They will be either the 6 or the 7 seed. Sims in at the 3. Meanwhile, play Atlanta, Minnesota with a 72% chance. 10. The WNBA playoffs begin on Sunday with a quadruple header, all on ESPN and ABC. For more on these games on the ESPN family of networks. 9-0 Indiana run, 19-point lead, their largest of the game. Taylor. Couldn't finish it. Boston. Here's Hull. Can at the 3.
A couple of big possessions in a row, though, from Indiana, moving the ball against the zone, getting wide open looks as a result.
Out the way, Dundas on the steal. Here comes Sims. A little hop. She took it inside the arc. Boston able to finish before she was getting hugged, but was persistent and got it to drop.
Are you allowed to?
Air ball.
Yeah.
Officials might have said it was deflected. But if it wasn't, then no, is the answer. Shepard, Dixon,
continues to play really hard and play really well for minute.
For the Lynx, if they're going to claim that 5th championship, Dundas buries the 3. 2 players who were not a part of the equation a season ago. Even thinking about how New York was able to come back in Game 5 when they went to their super big lineup. And a foul here is going to send Clark, we know, his outlets for the season. Hadn't missed a game at Iowa, didn't miss any games last year. This season, she talked about in her Instagram, Stephanie White, the Fever front office. People have asked, well, why didn't they make this decision a few weeks ago? Because they were trying to exhaust every tail off living in the gym to get up to full speed. The calendar dwindled to where it was no longer going to be safe to bring her back, and it was then the prudent time to make that announcement. Now, people have wondered, look at when she injured her ankle, which eventually was diagnosed as a bone bruise. And so the ankle still recovering, keeping it at full speed. And the groin was never fully tested, happened. And that's why Indiana and Caitlin arrived at the decision they did, as hard as it has been, would just keep going and keep going. But the calendar made it at a point where there's just not enough time, and there was no way she was going to be able to get back and be competitive in a play.
Hard and frustrating, but you're also not.
And she said, even look at what happened to Tyrese Halliburton. Now, you never know exactly what's connected, but he's playing through a calf injury, a soft tissue injury, and ends up tearing his Achilles. And so Caitlin was just...
Odyssey Sims, by the way, the last 2 defensive possessions getting offensive screening fouls called on Minnesota as she's just trying to fight over the top of the on-ball screen.
Here's Boston laying it in off the window.
You would expect Steph White to start resting some of those starters if she has available bodies on the bench to do so.
Heidemann backs away. The jackknife jumper wouldn't go, but Kolundikova there for the follow, up to 10 points off the 3 for the Lynx. Smith, Shepard, and Kolundikova. Dejanay Carrington still out with a shoulder, not playing tonight. Become a key piece off the bench for Minnesota since being acquired. Leticia Collier, the MVP candidate, also out, just getting some rest tonight. We'll step aside. Timeout in LA could still get into the playoffs if they win out and Seattle drops its final game. Steal here from Heidemann on the break. Heidemann will lay it in. Indiana, currently the 7th seed. They can finish no worse than 6 likely. And then Golden State loses its final 2 games. Indiana would finish 6th. Howard gets fouled.
Stay ready. She believed that her opportunity was coming. And she said, you know, sometimes it's exhausting in this league. I feel like I have to keep proving myself over and to come along, that God has a plan in store for me. What's next? Stay ready. She said this Indiana Fever team has been exactly that. She's been waiting for the right fit, and she vows to change that narrative about how she adds energy to a locker room, and she said, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and Holly, one of the things Stephanie White told us was at first, well, that's why we brought you here, and Odyssey has gotten comfortable with that and been very effective helping to navigate these last couple of weeks. And Stephanie told us that Odyssey's been so coachable in that regard and really coming along on the defensive end. With Asia, Nafisa, and AT. So many years, including this one, any of them could win.
Yeah.
But which in this season?
I think you might. That shit was easy. It was the unanimous year. With Asia.
Chunk of games. Meanwhile, Asia Wilson has been putting up otherworldly numbers for and shooting at 50% from 3 over that span. And AT is shattering the record books. Team that's exceeded expectations this year.
And Nafisa Collier is 1 percentage point
in league history. What's amazing is she has already clinched joining Elena as the only 50-35-90 players in league history. Dunt is leaning. Off back iron, no. One thing we know for sure, all 3 of those players will be first team all WNBA.
Yes.
Here's Kosu. Taylor trying to flag it down.
Championships as well.
Michaela Timpson heading to the scorer's table. Crowd wanted her in this game, and they're going to get their wish. And she jogged out. And Timpson finds Heidemann. Leaves it to Kosu, who will lay it in. And now Stephanie White will take a timeout with 1:47 to go in this. You know, to your point about New York, Rebecca, and just looking at the first round, obviously they've struggled for a prolonged period of time, but they just have not been healthy. And the numbers that they have had, their starting 5 on the floor have been incredible. I mean, they have bludgeoned the opponents. Tonight is the first time in a long time they've been whole. Just a game or 2 to enough to make them feel confident then going into the playoffs and like, okay, yeah, we went through the struggles, but
they have the weapons, the pieces, the experience of it all. It's just a matter of, can you put it all together? And we've seen how dangerous Vegas has become just over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Now, if the playoff
matchup, you know, Alyssa Thomas now is having this incredible year with Phoenix. She is still without a championship.
And she has had a lot of it. Has gotten to the finals twice. Taylor finished 3. Went to a game 5 against Washington in 2019. Lost in 4 a couple of years ago to Vegas. The Aces won their first back-to-back finals. Melinda Fogle on the follow. The interesting thing is usually by now, Minnesota going to suffer its second wire-to-wire loss of the season. As the Indiana Fever almost able to run out the clock there. Kelsey Mitchell, a very strong finishing performance. And the Fever, their season of the year. They take care of Minnesota 83-72 and finish this regular season at 24-20. No worse than the 7th seed, still alive to become the 6th.